All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're a first-time user here, please click that little subscribe button down there. I'm trying to get my channel up to like 10K so I can maybe buy a meal or something like that once or twice a month with some of the earnings from it. So, but I appreciate you watching. I appreciate coming in and look, especially on some of these older, let's just say less popular firearms. You know, it's not a fancy polymer Glock. It's not some fancy Kimber or anything like that, you know. But y'all, I tell you, these older firearms just really hold a special place for me. 1934. Oh, yep, this is a 1935, but 1934 is where this first started. What happened is back in 1934, the Italian army was all hot and heavy over the Walther PP pistol. They're like, oh my gosh, we got to get us some of that, or we got to get us some of those or something. So what happened is Beretta came along and designed the model 1934, the Beretta M1934, for them. The 1934 is a 380 ACP. Well, shortly after that, I think it was the Italian police, maybe, or the Italian armed forces, maybe, I can't remember, but someone came along and they wanted a 32 version, which what this is. That's why it says caliber, what does that say? Caliber 7... I can't read it. It's supposed to be a 7.65 if I remember. 7.56. Maybe I had, no, maybe that is a 6.5. There we go. We can barely see it, I think. Which is 32 ACP. So this is basically the same weapon as the 1934, but it is a 1935 model, and it's chambered in 32 ACP. Now, when they came out with it, the 32 ACP one, the kind of claim to fame is it, you know, they sent it to a lot of Italian police forces and stuff like that, which is probably what this one is. This one has got a PD proof mark. It doesn't mean police anything, but I think it's one of the ones that was for the Italian police forces. I seem to remember looking that up one time, and I can't remember what that proof mark stands for. But by the serial number on this one is 656-260. And kind of their claim to fame is they sent, the German army actually was issued some of these. I don't know the full details on it, to be honest with you, but I know the German army was issued up to serial number 616,000. I think they got about 40,000, maybe 50,000 weapons, probably between 600 and 640 or so, or something like that, was issued to the German army. This one, you can't, this gun was made from 1935 to 1967. I think this one is probably just post-war, probably from the maybe 1945 to 1947 time range. But, yeah, y'all, I tell you, back then, I mean, the quality, the workmanship and on these older weapons, I tell you, very nice stuff. And you guys got to remember, this is before a time period of CNC-controlled milling machines. This was before you could just throw a bunch of numbers into a computer and have it just start spitting these things out, spitting out frames and whatnot on the other side. I mean, they had jig setups and things like that, of course. But, yeah, this is just good old-fashioned, old-school quality and workmanship. Now, in traditional European style, you've got the heel release, and I'm sorry I haven't showed you all that this one is clear. Let me do it like this here. Let's take out the mag first, because this one has a little odd feature in it. When the mag is empty, the slide holds back, and the mag is the slide stop. Somehow. I don't know if it's that faller or what, but yeah, you can't get that slide forward until you eject the mag, and when that slide is held on that mag, the tension on it, it's hard to manipulate that little heel release. But you see, yeah, we are empty, so it is hard to manipulate that little heel release. And look at that interesting little mag too. I kind of like it. At a glance, you can tell whether or not it's loaded, I reckon, right? And man, I tell you, just the, again, just examples. I mean, look at this milled, look at this little milled magazine base plate, and that's milled, folks. I mean, again, just the precision of the craftsmanship on these old babies, I tell you. It does have a safety. That means it's in safe. That means she's ready to go, y'all. And it is a single action, a la, you know, kind of like a 1911, where you, yeah, I guess a person would carry it cocked and locked. Now, I've never had this one apart. I haven't looked at the sear or anything like that. I'm sure I probably wouldn't feel the most comfortable carrying it cocked and locked. But, you know, hey, back then, I don't think they worried a whole lot about that stuff. Maybe a lot of guys carried it hammer down. I don't know for sure. I don't know if it has a floating firing pin or what. I'm sure maybe some of you guys can comment and let me know, educate me on this gun a little bit more. I love 32s. I love 25s. I was in a gun shop over here just probably an hour and a half south of Houston here a couple of weeks ago, and I just picked this one up basic on impulse. Now, everything that I've read about them, again, I haven't fired it yet. You know, I've ran my 32 snap caps through it, man, and they just seem to function fine. They go slinging right out of there and everything. Everything I've read, it's typical Beretta quality. Now, this is kind of interesting. This is a little bit tricky. Like a lot of these things with that big faller, you've got to use the mag to lever it back when you push it in there. Oh, sorry. Hard to do this when you're trying to do it behind a phone, so. But yeah, I was, for the price I paid for this too, I was very pleasantly surprised. I noticed something really neat. Look at the grips on here. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. It looks like they have a small lip or something going around the grips on this thing. Now, I've never pulled these grips off, but maybe you just pull out the screw and these slide out from the bottom. I don't know. But again, just a nice little touch. And y'all, hey, you know, you guys know me. I like 32. I like 32 ACP. I would not feel undergun carrying this. Now, it's a little bit heavy. Let's take a look at it and see how much that weight is. All right. Sorry, had to run and locate the scale. Don't have my tare weight up here, but this is empty, so we'll see what it weighs, and I like to do things just in ounces. 23.8 ounces. Yeah, not a lightweight gun in my opinion, especially for pocket carry, but plenty of lightness if you wanted to put this like in a nice little inner waistband holster or something like that on you. It is an 8-round capacity magazine, as I recall. Let's do a brief size comparison, then I'll cut y'all loose. This is the LCP2. This one's actually the 22 long rifle version, so it's got a little bit longer grip, but everybody's pretty much familiar with that. Getting out here, we get y'all a better angle here to get all the stuff on my workbench in the way. But you can see, yeah, LCP is considerably shorter. As far as the length, the Berettas are just a little bit longer. Overall length, not too awful bad. Thickness, this is always a tough one. About the same thickness, really, from what I can tell. So not a bad weapon. I don't know the weight on the 380 LCP2 what most people carry. Let's we can check this one real quick, just for a quick type thing. Now this one is loaded. It's my pocket carry, 12.2 ounces. So yeah, 12.2 versus 23.8 unloaded. Probably add another 1.5 ounces for the ammo on that one. Yeah, it's not going to be a pocket carry, but I tell you, I would not dismiss it immediately for certain tasks if they were needed. Let me know what y'all think of this little one. There's not a whole lot of videos out there on it, like I said. And we'll do one more little quick pan. I did not give you a sight picture yet. They are there. See them? I tell you what, I guess shooters back in the day had a lot better eyes than we do nowadays. Or maybe that's just me getting old. Nice little, I wonder what that is, little stamp is right there, that little indentation. Oh, that's where the hammer's hitting it, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, probably the blowback from the hammer is causing that little dent on there. I tell you what, it has some nice serration, nice cutouts for the slide cutouts. And they're actually concave. You see that? That's a nice little touch of machining that you wouldn't see in today's firearms. Little touches like that. I tell you, I love these old guns, guys. Thanks for watching, y'all. If you like this video, click that thumbs up. And again, make sure you subscribe if you haven't. And try to send my channel out to a couple of your friends. See if we get them subscribed too. Guys, be careful out there. We'll talk to you later.